Some girl I rather style for your wife or your yard. Them think they mean I like.
Hello beautiful people, I'm Sophia. Welcome to my channel. Today's video is all about the new Natasha Denona bronze palette. I'm gonna be creating two different looks with this palette, and I'm gonna also give you guys my thoughts, my first impressions on this palette. As you can see, I'm smiling a lot, so hint hint, this palette is good. So if you like this look, please just go ahead and give this video a thumbs up, and if you're new here or if you haven't subscribed, please consider subscribing to the channel. And yeah, let's just get right into this video, guys, because this palette is hot. I'm gonna start off by priming my lids. I'll be using my P. Louise Beige shade 2 or the Rumor 2. After priming my eyes, I went in with Magma, which is a warm brown. I pretty much just packed it on and blended it out. And now for my lid, I'm gonna go in with Silk. With Silk, there is a little bit of fallout. It's not a lot. I'm not sure if you guys can see, but that's as much as I got on this eye. I don't think I tapped my brush, so I'm just gonna try to tap it before I apply. This one's a little bit kind of smudged. You just gotta be really careful. You gotta treat this like a baby. Like, the shadows are so soft, you just wanna just go easy with it. Now I'm just gonna go into Magma just one more time because transition. This is actually so gorgeous. I'm just gonna make a lot of sounds just to describe how I feel about this palette because my words are failing me, guys. Okay, I'm just gonna go back and blend my edges again. Everything is real smooth. These steps are just unnecessary, but I'm so used to blending so much. I can't believe I don't have to blend. I don't have to blend that much. Now for my brow bone color, there are a few colors you could use as a brow bone shade in this palette. There is Sundown, there is Ridge, and there is Beach. This is Sundown, this is Ridge, and this one here is Beach. These are more muted colors. These are more brow bone colors. I can see myself applying Sundown to my lid. That should look okay. But the other two are more, you know, brow bone shades for me. Okay, so I'm going to be using Beach as my brow bone shade. I also like to prime my bottom lid, so I'm going to go in with my P. Louise base. For underneath my eyes, I'm thinking of using the darkest shade in this palette, which is Deep Dive. This one's Deep Dive. It is intense, guys. So I'm going to take a little bit. I'm going to go in with a small blending brush. And I'm also going to go in with a little bit of Magma. I like to highlight my inner tear duct, so I'm going to go in with True Bronze. This is also beautiful. I do believe I swatched it earlier. Oh, this is so pretty. This reminds me of my Juvia's Place Royalty 1 highlighter. Although I think that one's more vibrant than this, but it's beautiful. Okay guys, so I got my lashes on. I'm gonna quickly move on to bronzer. I'm gonna be using this bronzer from Tillbury. It's their Airbrush bronzer in Deep. Okay, before I move on to highlight my face, I'm just gonna quickly spritz my face. I'll be using this setting spray from Morphe. It's their continuous setting mist. So for highlighter, I'm gonna go into Alloy, this one. I'm gonna go in with some blush. This is from Maybelline. It's their Berry Blush. For my lips, I'm gonna go in with the Speed Up pencil. This is from the Makeupshayla and Colorpop collaboration. Now for my lips, I'm gonna go in with this Peach Nude gloss. I find this gloss too orangey sometimes, so I'm just gonna go in with a tad bit of concealer. I'm just using my Font Concealer from LA Girl Pro. And since we're all about shining, sparkling, bronzing, I'm just gonna go in with a little bit of my Anastasia Beverly Hills Sparkle Lava Gloss. So this is it for the very first look. I hope you guys love this look as much as I do. I honestly don't want to clean this off because I don't think I've looked so good in a minute, but I'm so excited to try some other colors. So let's just jump right into the second look real quick. I'm gonna start with Deep Dive. Okay, I'm gonna go in with a little bit of suntan. Okay, now I'm just gonna go back with my P. Louise base. I'm just gonna apply just a tad bit just on my lid area. Now I'm gonna go in with Rhodium. This is what Rhodium looks like. As you can see, it's not the most pigmented color in the palette. That's one of the reasons I decided to use it. It's one of those colors if I don't use today, I probably would never use again. It's not the most vibrant, but it's very beautiful. It's like everyday, daylight, natural, kind of beautiful. I'm just gonna go ahead and create a winged line, nothing too fancy, just a small winged line. I'm gonna go in with this pencil. This is from NYX. It's their Epic ink liner in black. Now for my lower lash, I'm just gonna do the exact same thing I did for the other look. I'm gonna go in with Deep Dive, then I am gonna blend it out with Magma. Now for brow bone shade, this time I'm gonna go in with Sundown. And lastly, I'm gonna apply bleach to my inner tear duct area and apply some lashes off camera. And that's pretty much it for this look. I really love this look. I hope you guys love it as much as I do. Now let's get right into the swatches. So we're just gonna start with True Copper. So there we go. That's very beautiful. Now suntan is just a warm brown. On the website it describes it as a warm medium brown. Next up we have Sundown, and Sundown is more of a medium light yellow brown shade. Deep Dive was the first one I swatched earlier in the video. It's more of a dark brown, and I love that they included this shade. I would have also loved to see a black, but this is so dark. It's so dark, it's so reach. If you were worried about these colors showing up on dark skin, you ain't gotta worry. It shows up just right. These colors are very pigmented. Now the last one on this row is Rhodium. Now Rhodium is more of a purple. The website describes it as a warm purple with silver effect. It's not the most pigmented of all the colors, but it's absolutely beautiful. We're gonna move on to the second row. I'm gonna start with Magma, which we used for the first look, this look today. The website describes it as a medium dark umber. What is umber? I don't know what that is. All I can tell you guys is it is a brown. Okay, next we're gonna move on to High Degree, which is, oh, this color is beautiful. I feel like this is one of the hottest in the palette. Yeah, High Degree is a red copper. I actually prefer this to the True Copper. I love the redness of this. This is fire. Like, okay, now my pan is moving a little bit. Not sure if you guys can see. It is shaking. And that's not good. But anyways, alloy is more of a golden bronze, and if you saw the tutorial part of this video, you know I used it as the highlighter. These colors are just beautiful, guys, so let's just keep going. The next one here is Reach. The website describes it as a warm mustard, but I can't see it. I do see a little bit of yellow in there, but it just looks like a light brown. It's very subtle, almost non-existent on my skin tone. So this here is True Bronze. Here is Gloaming. It's kind of a dual chrome as well. It's also giving kind of pink vibes, pink red vibes. It's beautiful. The website describes it as an umber with a little bronze effect. So let's just go with umber. I'm gonna Google that word after this video and see exactly what it is. I just learned a new color. I'm gonna go ahead and try. This one's called Palladium. I hope I'm pronouncing these names right. I feel like the names could be a little bit easier, but alright, so this is Palladium, and the website describes this one as a red pinkish taupe color. It looks different from the pan. Like, that's one of the reasons I was a little bit skeptical about getting it. Like, when you look at the pan, you're like, oh my god, they all look alike, but when you swatch them, they are all different. Like, they are different shades, different tones. So Bliss is more of a reddish pink, and depending on how the light hits, it kind of gives you a little green. Next, I'm gonna try Silk. I have Silk on my lids, and Silk is absolutely beautiful, as you can see. The website describes silk as a foiled rich champagne color. I think I'm actually very bad with colors because I would say this is kind of a toned down gold, but it's champagne, guys. So let's stick with what the website says. So here is silk. It is very vibrant, very beautiful color. I think I can now tell the difference between the foils, so silk and I think it was true bronze. You can see how vibrant they are. In terms of texture, they do have a lot more particles, but they still feel just as soft, very smooth. It just glides. It's just great quality, guys. I used to think the shadows I had were soft and buttery, but this is a definition of soft and buttery. Like, the colors just glide on, and I am just really wowed. I'm really impressed. I'm just gonna try the last one, which is Beach. It's almost not noticeable. The matte nudish browns, Beach, Ridge, and Sundown, they aren't the most pigmented, as you can see from the swatches, but they do make good brow bone colors. I'm not sure what they would look like on someone who's darker than me, but they're the only three colors in this palette that are kind of muted. Rhodium, this purple is a little bit more subtle than I'd like. I like a punch of color, but it is still workable. It is still wearable. So yeah, that's all the swatches. Okay, so my final thoughts on this palette. Love it. Love it, love it, love it, love it, love it. I'm just gonna go straight into it. I would give this palette a good 9.5 out of 10, and I'm gonna just tell you why. Now, when I first got this palette, when I first opened up my box from Sephora, I was like, oh my god, it's actually so small. I was actually expecting a bigger pan. I don't know why, for some reason, I just remember it looking bigger online. When I saw it on Trend Mood, I thought it was a bigger pan, but apparently not. It's still an okay size. It's a 15 color pan shadow palette. It comes with a big ass mirror, which I love. You guys know mirrors are always a plus. I love the color of it. I love the packaging. I mean, it is bronze. It tells you what it is. Straight up, mine is very messy now, and this is just after one use. I'm not sure why it has all these holes in there. I'm not sure what that's about. Here's the original casing it came with. It just looks exactly the same, all bronzy, beautiful. I love the packaging, very simple. I love the color. And then at the back here, it shows you the ingredients, the names of the colors, and it tells you here it's alcohol free, it is paraben free, it is not tested on animals, which is good. It's good for 24 months. I hate when I see palettes and the expiry date is 12 months. I don't know who pays attention to that anyways. I know I don't. These shadows are very, very pigmented. Like I showed you guys, there are a couple that are kind of muted. When I first swatched Deep Dive, my first thought was, oh my god, this is so soft. Like, this palette has pretty much stepped up, you know, the bar. Like, I'm gonna be very judgmental, very judgy when it comes to other palettes, because I didn't think eyeshadows could be this soft. I didn't think they could be so blendable. You can blend the shadows eyes closed. Like, the shadows blend in a minute or two. Like, you don't have to put in the work. You don't have to blend like your life depends on it. Like, if you struggle with blending, if you don't like to spend all your time blending, then this palette is for you. Sounds like I'm exaggerating, but it's actually my very first time trying out an ND palette, and I didn't even know anything about this brand until I saw the palette on Trend Mood. I was like, okay, I don't have a bronze palette. I actually don't have a bronze palette. Most of my palettes are like colors, yellow, orange, green. But when I first saw it online, I was like, oh my god, all the colors look exactly the same. I don't see what this would do for me. But as you guys saw when I swatched it, every color is different. Like, they may look kind of similar like on the pan, but when you actually swatch them, when you actually use them, they are different. Like, I am just wowed. I'm just impressed. I'm not even gonna front. this is the best palette I have ever owned. And if you're worried about how the colors will look on dark skin, I'm just gonna tell you straight up, these shadows again are very pigmented. They would show up very nicely on your skin. If you're darker than I am, there are colors for you in this palette. The only colors you may have a little issue with, again, Beach, Ridge, and Sundown. But if you just think of them as brow bone colors and then concentrate on the rest of the colors, then yeah, this palette is worth it. It is worth it. Now, the reason why I said I'd give it a 9.5 out of 10 is because my pans are shifting. Some of them are shifting. I don't want to play with them because they're very, very soft. But like I showed you guys in the video when I was swatching, the pans were shifting in between. The price, I think, on Sephora is 65 US dollars. Canadian, that's about 87 Canadian dollars. So I guess her palettes are usually way more expensive than 65 US dollars. So yeah, if you're thinking of whether or not to splurge, I would say get it. Like I mentioned earlier, I was also worried when I received it and realized it was actually a small pan, because for 65 US dollars I was expecting the whole box. You actually don't need to pack on the eyeshadows to get the maximum color payout. Like these colors, these shadows are already pigmented. Like you saw, I just applied maybe a couple times. Usually I'll apply like 3 times to kind of get, you know, the colors very saturated, but you don't need to do that with this palette. It's actually just a lazy girl's palette. Like if I don't have to blend for like 2 hours, if I don't have to like dump eyeshadow 3 times to kind of get it the way I need it to be, then that's great. The less time I spend blending my shadows, the better. There is some kickback with some of the shadows, especially deep dive, but it's really nothing to be worried about. In terms of fallout, you can see what's on my palette, and I didn't have a lot either on my face, so there's not a lot of fallout with this palette. The colors really just stick on, they just stay where they are placed. They are very obedient shadows. This palette is just a win. It's just a win-win-win. It just feels like a discovery to me. Now that I know that the palettes are this great, I will certainly get a couple more whenever I can afford them, because they are pretty pricey. But I'm really thinking of getting the Oleforia glosses, because that caramel was calling my name, chestnut too was calling my name. I mean, if the palette is this beautiful, then I can only imagine what the lip glosses would look like. I'll definitely be doing another look with this palette, because I'm really feeling high degree. Like this one is gonna be fire. So I think that's gonna be the next one. That's gonna be probably my next tutorial using this palette. I really enjoy this palette and I recommend it. If you enjoyed the looks I created using this palette, please don't forget to give this video a like. It really helps my channel grow. And if you're new here or if you haven't subscribed yet, please make sure to hit that subscribe button and join the fam, and leave me a comment in the comment section below. Let me know which of the looks was your favorite. Let me know if you're considering getting this palette. Let me know if I convinced you to get the palette or not. Thank you guys so much for watching. I will catch you guys in my next video. Bye.